I'm Kristin at Cantencamp. I'm actually 46 years old now, but I joined the service when I was 20, and I joined the Marine Corps.
My name is Curtis Cantencamp. I joined the Marine Corps in 1987, and I transitioned out of the Marine Corps in 2008, and had a degree in business at the Illinois Institute of Technology, and became an officer in 1987.
Well, I decided to join the service because one of my friends asked me to join the Army with her under a buddy system. I wasn't sure what that was, and I'm not from a military family, so I decided to walk up to the Armed Forces depot, so to speak, to sign up, and 13 days later I was gone in the Marine Corps. So I did not join the Army, my friend did not join the Army, and I ended up in Paris Island. So that's my story.
I was a graduate of Crystal Lake South High School. Did not know what I wanted to do in my future. Went to McHenry County College for a year, and an ROTC scholarship was presented in front of me, and did not have any aspirations to be in the military whatsoever. Was new to me. In fact, my dad was in the Army, and he didn't speak of it much, and I did not know much about his military experience. But I wasn't going to refuse a scholarship, a 4-year scholarship, an opportunity. And then my parents told me, well, you can join anything but the Marine Corps. So as a typical teenager, that directed me towards the Marine Corps, and that's what I got my scholarship and my commission through, was the Marine Corps, because my parents told me not to.
So when I first joined, I chose to be in a position of a support role, which was administration. And specifically what I did was update service record books. And at the time when I was in, every Marine carried them from station to station in a big record book. By the time, 20 years, but now I'm not sure how they do it. They could use an RFID or any kind of QR code for records, but back in my day, it was all paper copies.
Then when it came time for me to pick my MOS, I chose tanks, and was lucky enough to get selected to be in tanks. So I was a tank officer trained at Fort Knox, Kentucky in M60A1s, and then later was transitioned during the Gulf War into M1A1s.
I think my most favorite memories, of course, are the people that I have met throughout my 4 short years. I had traveled to South Carolina, North Carolina, Okinawa, and then ended up in Quantico, Virginia. And to this day, 25 years later, I still have those relationships. But I was fortunate enough to travel, not as much as my husband, but being able to travel to different areas and meet different people and just have that adventurous side when you're young is, that was fantastic for me.
I would agree with Kristin. It's just the people you meet, the relationships you build. There are still people to this date that I correspond with that were with me at my first duty station at 3rd Tank Battalion. And the camaraderie you build, the friendships you build are everlasting, just unbelievable friendships you develop, and the trust you have in one another. I would say the most memorable experience is kind of a combination of all the places I've been. There's a lot of turmoil in our country right now, and discussion about our country. But I would say if you've been able to travel to other countries, you'll see that this is the best country, the finest country. We are privileged to live here, and we should serve and we should honor what we have here. We can always make it better, and we can always get better, but it's an unbelievable country, and we have the most freedoms, and it is the best place that I have ever seen as far as comparison to other places I've been that you can live.
Oh, the lessons I learned. We have probably different lessons from officer to enlisted. But I think one of them is integrity with yourself and others, the honor and the commitment that you have, your fierce loyalty, your mental ability to not allow fear to control your life. And I think, that's helped me in my 20s and 30s and 40s right now. So I think he can probably concur that we still kind of march to that cadence today, and our character and our, moral approach to life.
Yeah,
So,
just being able to rely on each other and trust in those that are in your inner circle. It's very important that I think you have an inner circle that you can rely on and trust on. It just makes life that much more enjoyable, because if you do have tough times, you've got those people that you can lean on and that you can trust, and it makes life, I think, a little less stressful. I think the commitment that you show, so transitioning from the Marine Corps to civilian life was difficult, but I think once you kind of shift gears into civilian life, the fact that you are so loyal and you're committed, so whatever you tackle and whatever you commit to, you give 100% to, and then those that see you do that, they understand that you're committed, and they appreciate that. So I think the commitment and the drive and the perseverance that you have once you commit to a position or a job, it really is appreciated.
yeah, he summed that one up for me, so well done. First of all, I was not prepared for college. High school prepared me, of course, but I mentally was not prepared. So I did go to college for a little bit, and it didn't align with what I wanted to do. And thank goodness, because I had no idea what I wanted out of life at that time. And joining the service gave me those 4 years of just that little flex time to kind of figure out what I wanted to do. And by the end of my 4 years, I had owned a house, and I had help from the VA for purchasing a home. I had GI Bill, so I was able to go to school. So a lot of things that it just took me a little bit more time to grow up and figure out what I wanted to do. And eventually I stayed in the civilian sector when I left Quantico, and eventually got my degree, and I was out here in Illinois doing the same kind of defense work, but for civilians. So it really has followed me, and all the way here to Illinois.
It does. It's a good transition, especially like Kristin said. If you're unsure about what you want to do with your future, which direction you want to take, the military will give you job skills. It will give you those skills that you need in life, and especially if you just don't know what you want to do, if college is right for you, or if going into a trade you're not sure of, the military can give you that time and that space to make that decision. And on top of that, they're going to give you money for school. They're going to allow you to go to school while you're in the military. You can get college credits while you're in the military, and you can make those decisions. A lot of times, and we've seen it with our 7 children, you head off in a direction, and you spend money with college, or you spend money with schooling, and it turns out not to be what you want. So the military, I think, and there are some people that know exactly where they want to go and what they want to do out of high school. I would say that that's not the norm, that most of us didn't know what we wanted to do, and the military gave me that time and space to figure that out. I loved it. I loved every minute of it. They say while you're in it, you complain about it.
That's true.
You may gripe a little bit about it, and then when you get out, you just miss it like crazy. I would not do anything different. I would do it all over again. It's hard, when you do it, but it's also, civilian life is hard too. So I would not change a thing.
And neither would I.